Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of
Legends Only.
Your weekly pop culture podcast where we talk about
Legends Only.
Now, everyone, I want to say thank you for all the love from last week's deep dive. The girls really loved it.
Would you say they LOVE'd it?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, so last week we did a deep dive into Ashley Simpson's autobiography, and the support and all the messages were so kind. And I just want to say thank you to everyone because it really meant a lot.
We're really glad that we could bring you back to a place of bootcut jeans and Aeropostale.
Yeah. That era will always have a special place in my heart. No, but really, the whole week I was so happy. I just completely escaped into the moment.
Hey, it's really fun to go back and watch all the problematic reality shows from the early 2000s and be like, oh my God, I cannot believe we acted like that and said that and did that.
Wait, speaking of, breaking update. Did you see the tweet that we got the other day? The scene
one? I got a lot of
with
muted
the powder.
Yeah.
The powder on the table.
Yes, I did want to talk about that. Thank you for that person for pointing that out. What? Okay.
I know.
Okay.
Someone sent it to, I was live streaming on Twitch.
And I did see that, and I
sponsored.
forgot that I had that reaction to that.
Yeah. So they sent it to me. I opened it up live on stream, and my reaction was caught, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, your face." And I genuinely jaw on the floor.
If you don't know what we're talking about, in the very first episode, in the very first few minutes of the Ashley Simpson show, her mother, not Lynn Spears, but looks like Lynn Spears, is helping her learn how to clean her home and is cleaning up dust on a counter, white looking dust, and
sniffs it
really quickly, brings her hand to her nose in a very suspicious way.
What was that?
I remember thinking, "What? That's not quite right."
I never noticed it.
We'll have to ask Ashley what that was.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so yes.
Who knows?
Thank you for all the support on the deep dive, though. And I think it's something that we want to start doing at the end of every month. Really just kind of escape into an era. Stay tuned to our Patreon, where we will be doing a poll on what the next deep dive will be. And speaking of Patreon, thank you, as always, to all of our supporters on patreon.com/legendsonly. Thank you to everyone who's been supporting the podcast now for over a year. We very much appreciate it.
We absolutely do. And speaking of polls, actually, we'll get to one later in this episode.
I was like, what do we want to ask everyone?
A different kind of poll is coming soon.
Oh, yes. Okay, well, starting off, speaking of Lynn Spears, but a different Spears.
Right.
So our queen, Miss Britney's back in the news yet again.
Yet again.
So I kind of wrote a little song for this.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
What?
And all the Disney gays are going to be shook because I was reading the news and then I just started singing in my head. I was just like, tale as old as time, endless conspiracies.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go.
Yeah. Britney or her team.
Actually, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well played. Yes, here we are once again. Try to forgive me. I don't believe in fairy tales. Here we go with the latest update, which is that Britney posted another dance video set to Aerosmith, Crazy.
Yep.
And quite a whopper of a caption.
Now, I will read part of it. So essentially, she says, I didn't watch the documentary, referring to Framing Britney Spears, New York Times. But from what I did see of it, I was embarrassed by the light they put me in. I cried for 2 weeks, and well, I still cry sometimes. I do what I can in my own spirituality with myself to try and keep my own joy, love, and happiness. Self-referencing queen.
That was a reference, yeah.
Every day, dancing brings me joy. I'm not here to be perfect. Perfect is boring. I'm here to pass on kindness. And this just took the internet by storm, as always, with people saying that it is obvious she didn't write this. Why would she, talk about the documentary like this, etc. So what do you think about this?
I have many thoughts about it. My first thought is that we come to this problem over and over again where One day, the fans are very adamantly believe that she's sending a message through her Instagram in whatever she posts, be it the caption or the video. And then the next day, we're like, that is not her. That's not her. Which just, it's confusing, and it's kind of a back and forth. We know that most artists have social media managers. She has a social media manager. It doesn't help that it came to a head because people were like, I don't think I believe that's her. And then so finally that became a news story, fan reactions to this. And then that resulted in a TMZ article, which had allegedly a quote from Britney saying, no, yeah, that's what I wrote. And don't believe Billy B, my former makeup artist. Haven't spoken to him. So she spoke out directly to TMZ just to shoot this one down, and like not the past 2 years of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure about that. That did not give me a good feeling at all. And, I've said this a long time ago. I've lost the plot a long time ago with everything and how everything's going. And obviously you can really go far into the left field of conspiracy theory with all of it. I'm really not sure. However, I do believe it is completely understandable to feel embarrassed by the documentary because essentially it underscored all of the horrible things that happened to her in the media and all of the ways that people took advantage of her boyfriend's family, everything. It was not flattering. It was very upsetting. So I don't find it unusual that she would have a bad reaction to it. I see, having sort of a feeling validated that her pain was on display there and being like, see, this is what I went through. But I can understand feeling unsoothed by that. It's not it doesn't, and maybe more importantly, that documentary did not highlight the music. It didn't highlight her artistic achievements. It didn't.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying the documentary is bad, but I'm just like, if you're looking at it from like, what have I achieved in this world and stuff, it was just pretty much all negative, besides Felicia sticking up for her and fans. But like, I don't think it's weird that she would cry about the documentary. I mean, look at all the things that it put on display. But I think it contrasts with boyfriend Sam coming out and being like, we love the support from you guys. Thanks. That came out like a few days after the documentary. I think it conflicts with that. It was also weird timing, like this coming out at the same time as like more and more stories about how the conservatorship is paid. It doesn't help that she's not literally voicing it herself. She's dancing, so it's completely disjointed. That's not great either. Yeah. How about you? What are your thoughts?
I think the same thing. I mean, when you go back to saying you lost the plot, I do agree that it's like always this issue where one day she'll post something and everyone's like, yes, she's rebelling and she's giving us a hint that she's listening to us and she hears us and we love this.
Yeah.
And then the next day it's like, that's completely not her. That's fake. It's fake.
Yeah.
It's the flip-flopping back and forth that I'm kind of exhausted with. But
I also get it. I'm the same at the same time.
I get it. I understand it. But then, like you said, I also understand the same thing. Like, I can understand why she would be embarrassed by this documentary, because a moment from For the Record actually stood out to me when they're in the car and someone says to her, oh, so MTV just did this special the other night where they showed all of your VMA performances. And she goes, oh, did they show last year? And they're like, no. And she's like, oh, really? They didn't? Do you remember that scene?
Yeah.
Where it was like, she had this almost
She just kind of like contemplates it.
Yeah, she had this kind of like moment where she got embarrassed for a second. And she was like, oh, no, did they show last year? And I think it's when they're in the car going to perform for Madonna, I think, if I remember
that sounds right.
And so that moment stuck out where I was like, if you look at the video or the documentary from a surface level standpoint of like the footage they use and the imagery that they show and the paparazzi videos, and it's a really traumatic moment in her life.
Yeah.
And so I can understand how watching this, she would cry. So, but I also understand that, why all of a sudden is she talking about it now when it's been out for, how long has it been out now for?
I
don't even know what today is.
Yeah, more than a month.
It's been out for a while. So I get all angles of it.
The timing was weird because there had been a blast article about how much the conservatorships paid, and I think page 6. So that didn't feel great. And I felt the TMZ article was kind of insulting because it's like, what do you mean she just hit you up and said that was true? Because we've gone through 2 years of hell of being like speculating about every part of this.
No direct quotes ever.
No direct quotes ever. And it's just like, oh, by the way, she just let us know she doesn't talk to that guy, and that
she did write this.
And that she did
confirmed.
Write this.
And we're like,
It's like, okay, can you ask her a few other questions we have? Because
Yeah.
we've got a few. Um,
No, I agree with you when you say that about like, why is it this?
yeah, it's just, it does make us feel stupid. It feels insulting in some ways because it's like, there's so much blame being cast at everyone in every part of her circle, and it's hard to really fault people for feeling suspicious or conspiracies because it's like there's no clarity. And that's why I keep saying I've lost the plot, because I no longer even know. I really have no idea how I feel about where any of this stands anymore. I really don't know if she's well. I don't know if she's happy. I don't, because aside from like maybe glimpses into Sam Asghari's Instagram where she seems happy, I'm like, okay, I mean, I hope so. But, the updates about the court is going at a snail's pace, and it doesn't seem to align with her interests necessarily of what she seems to be voicing in court. It's very confusing, and we question every single part of it and her lawyer. And so now it's just like, I don't know, but I don't think this caption helped because it's also so strange to pair it with just another dancing video. It's just like,
well, the song choice in the dancing video was something that
interesting, crazy. Yes.
Yeah. Because I mean, we know that I do feel like she does hint at things a lot.
Yes.
I think I've said this before. I think she's very smart. I think she's brilliant. I think she can do the whole hinting thing. I think it's why people are always thinking that she's dropping hints, because she's done it before.
Yeah.
I thought the song choice was interesting. It's something that, a lot of people are calling her in the comments.
She's always loved a crazy reference. Like literally she has like a few songs with lyrics in it. She said it a lot. Yeah. So that is interesting. Yes.
When the press was talking about her not singing, she got up there and she's saying, let's give them something to talk about. So
yeah. And she talks about the media for the first half of that caption, actually.
Yeah.
Which is also why I was for a second, when I read that line about the documentary, I was like, embarrassed by the light they put me in. Is she still talking about the media in that sense? Like, is she saying...
She might be.
Yeah, like that's why I'm a little confused about the caption, because I'm like, does she mean
it's vague.
Reliving the media's light they put her in? Because that makes total sense that she would cry still.
Yeah.
I don't think if she wrote it, if she didn't, I don't think it was quite clear enough about what she meant by that, because I personally don't find it hard to believe that documentary would make you cry. I feel like it is all of your traumas bottled into one. I wouldn't feel proud, proud of herself, of course, but like it would be like, oh God, this is just all my stuff aired out there.
Yeah, and reliving that moment.
And that's not shade to the documentary or the filmmaker or anything like that. It's just like, this was
I thought the documentary was great.
This was not about her career necessarily in the terms of which I truly do believe she cares about, providing love, joy, happiness. Like, if this was about all of her artistic highs and stuff like that, I think that she wouldn't cry about it. But this is not what that documentary was. It was an indictment of how we treat people in the media, especially young women in the 2000s, and just in general. So I guess I feel two ways about it. I'm like, this doesn't not make sense, that caption. I could see you being embarrassed by this. You did nothing wrong, but like, it's just very raw. But I also question the timing, the wording, the TMZ article. Once the TMZ article came out, that actually made me more question it, because I'm like,
yeah,
did she text you? Like, what?
Yeah, I thought that too.
I mean, it didn't even say a rep from her camp. It just said her. And I'm like, well, if you're talking to her, there are a few more questions.
Are there direct quotes?
I think there were, which was more... I'll double check on that. But yeah, that was just that made it feel more nefarious and evil. That was like... I mean, I said it 2 years ago. I mean, I really hope the people closest to her who have her best interests in mind are working for her. It just doesn't feel like it right now. It feels bad. And that's why, I still continue to be hesitant to speak about her, because I feel like a big dark cloud over everything right now. And I wish there were clarity, and I wish that I knew she felt at peace and happy with whatever arrangement she has or is working towards. And I don't. So it's just been a constant bad feeling for 2 years of like wanting the best for her, not really knowing what's going on. And this once again is like this is just the latest.
Yeah.
And I don't blame anybody. I know that like even we got thrown into the shit of like the accusing and all of that. I don't even blame anybody anymore because it's like, well, I don't know either. I don't know how deep this runs, how evil it actually is, what is being controlled and what isn't. It's just wild. All I can say is that I hope that she feels the love more than the scrutiny and the exploitiveness, I guess, of this whole thing, and that she feels, I want her to know that like we love her for the artistry and the person that she is and not just the scandal of it all.
I was thinking that too. I was kind of, because I've kind of gone like back and forth, and I've been open to everything, and I read everything, and I watch everything and listen to everything. I sort of felt that way this week too. I definitely had a and I'm not a pessimist.
Yeah.
But I definitely had a moment this week where I was like, I almost feel like this has reached a point of no return where everything will be negative from now on out.
Yeah, like I really,
because
it doesn't feel good.
Even if she were to be on primetime TV next week with the Oprah interview, I don't know if it would be received well. Like I almost feel like have we reached a point where everything
gets doubted and critiqued?
Yes. Yeah. I was like, have we
there needs to be some sort of finality. There needs to be some sort of conclusion or like a ruling in court that makes everybody feel better, or just her really specifically speaking about it or something, because on paper, on just looking at it, this thing feels bad. We've always said for 12 years and whatever, it seems intense and bad and weird, and we haven't understood the extent to which it actually rules over her life. And the past 2 years have truly not helped us feel any better about it. So
I also hope that there is, like, ending on a positive note, I hope that there is something or someone that can sort of, I don't know, give her a little bit of like positivity, like bring some positivity into her life. Because I feel like this media attention and this media circus, how do I even say it? Like, I hope she can see the support in a positive way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know how to word it.
Yeah, I just hope that, like, we literally don't know. Obviously, there's tons of conspiracy about Sam, too. I hope he's a good positive force. I literally don't know. I don't know about Jamie Lynn anymore. It's all because so many things have been called into question. I don't know anymore. But I agree with you. I hope that, and I hope that I would love to get back to celebrating her career, which is really what we did the first podcast about, until things spun out and it became something else, because it was the beginning of all of this. And I would love to feel secure in knowing that she's happy with her life path and that we can once again,
and everything she's accomplished too,
and we can once again celebrate that. And for now,
and everything that she's overcome. I think that's also another part of it, is like, if she was struggling with some sort of mental health challenge, knowing that she's overcome so much in her life and that she can overcome it again. And I just hope that there's some sort of, like you said, like some kind of positive resolution here.
Yeah,
because I've always admired her, and like, with what I go through, and like I know that there's people listening who have their own things that they go through too, and that's why they connect with her so much as a person, because she's been able to overcome so much. And I just, I hope that there's...
Yeah, I think that was a big part of our podcast too, is the resiliency and all of that. And because it was true. And
it's up and down.
I mean, how, the we don't like the "if Britney can survive 2007" meme, but it's like that turned out to be child's play compared to the past 2 years. It's like, this is the big leagues. This is a really big, big story. And we're still in the middle of this storm. And God, I cannot wait to move out of it. I cannot wait to feel, and I want to feel, that this is not just going to be how it's going to be for her from here on out. I want that resolution, and a feel-good resolution for her. And I do believe it will happen. She can do it. We will see the latest developments as they come.
Can you believe it's been 2 years?
Yes, I can. My therapy bills can too. I think that we are at a place where it cannot be swept under the rug anymore, basically.
It's at a fever pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, this was a lot to unpack. This was basically an episode of It's Britney Bitch by accident. Minus the like heartfelt, like nostalgic thoughts about our youth. But yeah.
Isn't every episode at the end of the day?
Oh God, we just wish her the best, and that she wins and fights and is just happy in her life, that she deserves it. And fucking fame is is not easy. And I feel a lot of empathy and sympathy coming from our faves, from Mariah to all of God, everybody has sort of spoken out and just been like, I hope she's well. I'm rooting for her. And that's what we want for her.
Well,
yet
again, Taylor's horns as time. Did you like my song?
I did, actually. I liked the song. It really tied in well. All right. Well,
okay.
Peace and love to Brittany, and let us move on with
some teasers.
Yeah.
So Taylor Swift unleashed the vaults, which was basically like, what the hell are these words?
Unleash the beast.
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck she's saying, but girl, I am living.
I am living. Yes. So Taylor is really doubling down on her demonic puzzle maker fantasy, and she's
This was so over the top. I thought it was fan made.
She's owning it now. Like, she's like, oh, you wanted an Easter egg.
Yeah.
She's going to crack the Zodiac Killer case, like, for sure. She's going to be like, if you could solve this, these characters and figure out who the Zodiac Killer was, you can receive one free copy of 1989 Taylor's version.
The Da Vinci Code could never.
Really. The Swift Code. Yes, it's getting ridiculous. It's fun, though, and honestly, I'm a little, not jealous, because I also am a fan of Taylor, but, like, Britney back in the day doing vaults and stuff, we'd be decoding, calling out a class. We would be like, oh my God.
Well, I mean, just what we talked about. We're doing.
Yeah, that's true. That's what fans are doing in a different way now.
Yeah, do you remember the Apple emoji? Oh my God, new single, Apple Pie coming soon. Like,
oh God, my other trauma. Yes, I do.
Like, what are you talking? Like, we've been living this.
We've been in it, yes. I wish it just led to a fucking song and not a nightmare.
This wasn't her. She used 2 spaces instead of 1.
Yep, there we go. Well, shit. So it turned out to be that Taylor unveiled the full track listing for Fearless, Taylor's version, with some new, got Maren Morris, got Keith Urban, got like 4 or 5 unreleased from the vaults. Very fun, very cool. Excited to hear it. Excited to hear all of the Taylor's version isms of her back catalog. It's very cool.
Do we think she's going to redo 1989?
Yeah. She did Wildest Dreams, Taylor's version already. She previewed, I believe, for a trailer for
Oh my
something.
God. Do we think she's going to redo Clean with Imogen?
Oh my God. Yeah. She'll
underrated gem.
She got to call everybody up she's ever worked with. She'll be like,
yeah.
Hey.
Well, Imogen just came out with a new song and I was like, oh, is she going to redo Clean with Taylor?
Even cleaner.
They should do a whole album together.
Yes, they really should.
I mean,
Ariana should too, because Ariana's such an Imogen stan.
Yeah, I want all my faves to do an Imogen album, and then I want Imogen to go electronic. Which she has. Like, people have remixed her songs into like dance hits.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But anyway, that's me derailing this entire conversation.
Well, speaking of Imogen Heap collaborators, actually, we do have a ponytailed princess that we need to discuss.
We do. Arianka. That has been stuck in my head all week. That meme. Am I giving you Ariani? Because my hair is like really long, so I was like, do you see how long this is?
Yes, I do.
Can you tell all the viewers?
It is at least 3 feet tall. That is a Legendina ponytail. This is
literally, am I giving you Ariana?
40th birthday strut Legendina pony.
Yeah, it's a full pony now.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, so Ariana Grande is joining The Voice.
Swivel chair.
Yeah.
For what is estimated to be the highest paid judge on The Voice, coach on The Voice ever.
It's
they're
what
saying
she deserves.
20 to 25 million, they're saying, matching Ketty on Idol. No surprise there. And, I think there was some like hesitance at first. They were like, oh, isn't that what you do when you're like a few more albums deep and a few, But I think the game's changed when you can't tour.
That's exactly what I thought.
Sitting at home, watching The Voice, being like, all right, I'll do that.
Yeah.
And I think she said she was binging it at one time.
I think it's a good move for her. I mean,
me too. I mean, money-wise, yes, but also like,
I work for the competitor, but like, it's okay.
Right.
I'm fair. Listen,
fair balance. Yes. I think it's a good move for her. I always think just like the Vegas residencies, I think it's nice when an artist can stay in place and do the gig where they are. So that's cool. She doesn't have to travel a ton and make the same money as touring. That's awesome. And I think she can have fun with it, and I think she can have some cool like guests. Like, don't they have their guest mentors? And she'll freak out everyone who spins around and sees it's her. That's just crazy. So
yeah.
And Kelly and Ariana on the same season is a fucking win.
I know
that when they're gonna scream so loud when they sing together.
They're gonna have so much fun.
Yeah, they're gonna.
My only hesitance
really
was
season.
like, it kind of reminded me of like, Britney X Factor. I can't see her ever being negative. But I don't think you need to be on these shows. You don't need to be.
Yeah,
you can be constructive and positive.
I definitely think the gist of The Voice, and I haven't fully watched it in a while, but I definitely think it's an uplifting sort of show. I don't think we encourage them to be nasty at all. I think they're all fighting to be on everyone's team, and then I think they're like hyping them up. So I definitely think this is just like a positive, because past the auditions, you don't really have room to be that bitchy. So I'm excited for her.
Just a bunch of girls getting together and listening to good songs, basically. Also, I mean, like, I am just saying, like, American Idol is really good this season too. Like, not sponsored, but like
sort of sponsored, actually.
No, it's not. But I just think
by
too,
default, by you working for them.
But it's like, it's fun, and like why I did it was like, I was like, it's just fun. You listen to people sing, and they sing like bops, and it's just enjoyable. And no one can tour right now because we're dealing with Cornova. So. She'll sit there, she'll give the girls fashion. Yeah. And
I want her to sing Rain on Me with Kelly. Can you imagine?
Yes.
I actually could imagine.
I actually can.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, Stephanie's in Italy. She can't do it.
Or You Thought Wrong.
Oh God. You Thought Wrong.
Ariane,
beautiful Disaster Live version.
Oh my God. They should just do a whole episode that's just Ariana and Kelly
Natural Woman.
Duets.
Yes. Oh my God.
Half the season.
Yeah. So
anyway.
I'm excited for that. I'm definitely excited for that interaction alone. Yeah. So we won, gays.
We did. Enjoy it before the girls get unleashed back to touring.
And speaking of winning for the gays, truly changing the world, changing pop culture, and looking hot while doing so, Lil Nas X. Now, we were off for the week doing Ashley Simpson when this was first taking the world by storm. So we had some
fighting
time
for gay rights.
Yeah. Equally important for gay rights. Montero, Call Me By Your Name, has completely taken over pop culture. So many memes, so much outrage. He's winning. He is
absolutely.
I loved the video. I thought the song was already a hit for about a year because of the hook that he teased already in the car and now I can't get that fucking song out of my head. You're winning when like Candace Owens is mad at you. You're winning when like all of that side of TikTok is mad at you. The Satan shoes only added to it. And we squashed the FKA Twigs problem, which was legitimate, really nicely. And in I thought FKA Twigs' note was beautiful.
Something with the video, right?
Yeah, her video for Cellophane clearly heavily inspired this video, and they had the same choreographer. And it was basically like they took that concept more or less in a big way, and they apparently had a phone chat, and FKA Twigs wrote this really nice note just being like, I'm so proud of you for doing what you're doing for queer culture, and that we could have this conversation, and that more about like artistic integrity and things like that. Because we know
everything kind of is always inspired.
Yes,
in some way.
There needs to be like more clarity on those things, and sometimes people in charge of making those decisions will make them without you necessarily knowing where that idea came from, and all of that. I think it resolved well, and I'm glad there was a resolution. And the Satan shoes are now the big thing, which brings up an interesting conversation about artistic licensing, which, I mean, like Luann sending you a cease and desist.
Her personality, right? Iconic.
Nike basically did the same. I actually don't even know where I stand. I mean, I believe their argument is correct that it is considered an artistic piece. If you take a Nike shoe and decorate it and make it your own and sell it. I mean, Nike's argument is that they're diluting their brand because it's not Nike's shoe, but the brand, I think their Brooklyn-based Mischief is saying it counts as a unique idea because they've remade the shoe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Also,
where I fall on that.
that's been around for a while because I used to be like really into like the slip-on Vans. Yeah. And there's companies that will like take your Vans,
remix, remaster, still iconic.
Yeah, and they will paint custom
art.
I
think that counts as an art piece.
Yeah.
So the problem is that it was such a huge news story, and the news of the shoe said Nike in it. I see why they were like, hey, that's not actually our shoe, and we're not making money off of it. And so they got mad.
I get it, but I'm also like,
deal with it.
They're probably loving it.
I mean, it's only going to help, to be honest. They're claiming that it's hurting, and I do not agree.
Yeah, no.
So good for Nas to have the perfect sort of controversy where it's like blasphemy. We love it. We love to see it. And like copyright and infringement of artistic integrity. Like, yes, get all those scandals.
Honestly. Checking all the boxes.
I mean, he's really carrying the torch that literally Madonna's setting the crosses on fire of like a prayer and all of her blasphemy, Gaga's blasphemy with Judas and all of that. Like the pop star to blasphemy pivot.
Mean?
Like religious, like scandalizing religion.
Okay, got
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that has always been a pop star pivot for like a lot of artists. They've challenged religion. And I just love that he's like, you told me to go to hell. I did, and you're still mad.
Yeah. It's true though, like
what do you want us to do? We're in hell and we're gonna have fun while we're there then.
Yeah.
So I just loved it, and I loved the concept,
this video is
the Garden of Eden.
Fucking incredible. I mean, all like the blasphemy and like the gayness and the queerness, like if you put that to aside for a split second, the video alone is visually, artistically epic. And then you throw in the queerness and the blasphemy and all the other layers, and it just makes it even better.
Yeah, I think it's
truly
incredibly
fucking
daring.
phenomenal.
And I think, I wrote about it on mewmuse.com, but I think the song itself is so important because it's so sexual in a way that is not something you're going to hear from a gay artist at that level. And I don't mean to shade like specific names like Sam Smith, but Sam Smith's music is much more universal, love songs and heartbreak. Lil Nas X is like, I want to fuck you in Hawaii and like shoot my kids all over your face while I'm riding. And it's like, okay, well, I think that's a little different than a Sam Smith song. But I fucking love it, first of all. And I'm also like, that actually is going to
Dancing with the devil. What you made me do. Could remix it.
I shot a load on you.
Oh, Bradley!
I mean, he literally says that. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. We just got the explicit.
What was that?
Explicit on this pod.
Okay, but now that I think about it, if they did a remix together with those lyrics.
Oh, well, that would be iconic. I also recommended Madge, of course, to him on Twitter. And I just...
Ooh.
Because he was like, who should I put on the next 300 remixes of this song?
Madonna.
Madonna. There's so many people that can work for it. And I mean, so it's on track. By the time this podcast comes out, it's probably already news, but it's #1 UK, and I think on track for #1 US. And I don't see how it couldn't be #1 here. It is everywhere. I think he's just genuinely changing the culture, and it's so important to just normalize a sexual, horny 21-year-old gay guy just being a pop star. It's really what I fantasize about when I was writhing around to Britney and in those days, just being like, I want to be a pop star like that. Like, he's doing it.
Yeah.
It's not watering down the sexuality. It's not making it comfortable for people. He's just like being the horny 20-something that he is. And I think it's just awesome. So
unapologetically gay.
Unapologetic, out now on iTunes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I think too. Like, because at first I was kind of, when he was doing all the clapbacks and stuff, I mean, obviously he was scalping people.
He's so fucking good
left
at
and right, just like scalping everyone.
As JP Brammer says on Twitter, he's a veteran of Barb Twitter. You're not going to get him.
You're not going to win against
no.
him. Like, literally
he's fought too many wars.
Every single person. And I was kind of like, oh, do we want to give attention to these like ridiculous bullshit outrageous thing? But then I was like, you know what? Every single time they talk about him on TV, that network has got to pay licensing to play the song. So he's getting coin, right? And every single time he scalps them, I'm like, you know what? Looking back is like, if I was in my teens and if I was, a young teen and I saw him now, just being so fearless and unapologetically himself and being like, fuck you, I'm queer, and just owning it. It would be so empowering.
Yeah.
As like a young kid seeing that.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I remember like back in the day, I saw RuPaul on TV, and I remember and RuPaul wasn't really as like, you know, scandalous then. But just the act of being in drag on TV, I was like, wow, he's so brave. And I am like so inspired by that fearlessness that I saw when I was a kid. And now it's like, it's just not that I'm comparing the two of them together. I'm just.
No, but it's,
you know,
it's such a big deal that he's, it's such a big deal that he's 21, to be honest. Like, because when we were coming up, it was like, okay, Elton John, sure, okay. And it was like, and that's not shade to any of these people. It's just like, I need a hot, sexy person who I aspire to be right now. Like, not like person from the 70s or 80s who, like, you know, did break those boundaries then. But I want to see myself, or my best version of who I think I could be right now. And I feel like he's really doing that. And it's just so radical, in my opinion, I think. And that's not to say that there aren't so many queer artists who are doing it on the underground level or under the radar and have been trying to break through. But him punching through that wall is going to let the stream come through of other artists just like him and that have been doing it for longer. And it'll just help. It'll just keep it going. The more that markets and labels look at it and go, oh, well, that's sold, then that means they're going to let more people through. It's just,
it's true.
Fuck capitalism, but like that's here we go. You have to make that happen. So
we love to see it.
Yes. Well, keeping on going with Lil Nas X, if you are at all on TikTok in the past 2 weeks, it is unavoidable. It's time for TikTok Talk.
TikTok Talk, everybody. And being on polls.
Being on polls.
Which we didn't even say, like, he was doing the dance, like, he was actually doing the pole dancing.
The pole work is so fucking good. I love it.
I'm so jealous.
Yes, I know.
I want to take
so
a
much
class.
Strength.
Could you imagine? I would look so. Could you see my old crickety ass trying to do one of those spins on a fucking pole? To be 21 again.
Honestly, and I feel like he did it effortlessly and he looked really good. And it's hard. So the pole work is now an iconic moment, specifically him poling down to hell. And there is a fantastic meme on TikTok of people just like having full on conversations. And there's a split second of him going down the pole. And they're like, what? Literally, James, what was that? Actually, it's
whoever made this sound, it's like an audio where they perfectly did it, where it literally sounds like, you know, it's dropping like sonically the spatial audio. And so it's all these people and they're just like standing and like they green screen themselves at the gates of heaven.
Yeah.
And then you just hear woo.
They're like, wait, that looks fun.
It's so funny.
It's really funny. You'll have to look that one up if you haven't, but I bet if you just scroll a bit on your For You page, you will find, because it's so everywhere. The song itself is everywhere.
And I love that he's posting the TikToks on his Instagram story.
Yep.
He's
given it a lot of shine. He's so good at memes. It's scary. He's so internet funny. I'm so jealous, really. Like, he gets it. He makes me feel like a 30-something that I am. Like, he makes me feel like my humor is BuzzFeed because he's like so much better at it.
Yeah. He's... Oh, I also wanted to shout out. So he plays Minecraft, and I was texting Lindsay because I was like, oh my God, Lil Nas X plays Minecraft. We're not fucking losers. We're cool too.
Well,
and you know what? I stand by my Minecraft. And he posted a TikTok where someone was like mining in the Nether. And if you know what the Nether is like, it kind of looks like hell in Minecraft. It's like the hell world. Yeah. And he wrote a caption. He was like, me mining for netherite at Y15. If you play Minecraft, you'll get it. And I posted, and I was like, holy shit, this is so fucking funny. And it was like someone mining through a wall, and then it cracks open a hole, and then you hear the song start blasting. I just very much appreciated it as someone who feels like a loser because they play Minecraft, but I'm not.
The representation is everywhere. Wow. Well,
that was fighting for Minecraft rights.
It really was.
And ghasts were killed. Someone will get that.
Well, Lil Nas X is not the only one going viral this week, although it may not be for the same reasons.
Oh.
And some would say the internet was not so obsessed with this performer.
No.
Yes. Unfortunately, Addison Rae, TikToker, he's all that star, and obsessed chanteuse is being dragged all over the internet for her unfortunate TikTok dance sequence on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, which provoked a few conversations. There was
more than a few.
There was the classic, she can't dance, which is like the go-to for a TikToker. But then there was a larger conversation about, well, all these TikTok dances, or primarily all of them, are created by Black creators who are nowhere to be found in this sequence, nowhere to be credited. Not a cute look, especially when they do the side-by-sides and you can see them like eating it up in comparison. Oof. And, she's responded already, said that she wishes that there was a way they could have done that better, more or less. I'm kind of paraphrasing, and that, she hopes that they can all dance together one day. I'll just say, just like watching Britney get dragged when she was 18 and stuff, I don't really think it's an Addison issue. I think she was invited onto a show to do a segment about a TikTok platform that she is dominating. And I think that fame is something that happened to her, for better or worse of what you think of her. I don't think she's at fault for her fame, basically. And so I think there are better conversations to be had about how you can represent those creators better who made up those dances than faulting just like a TikTok star who, in my opinion, hasn't really done anything bad or wrong. It just wasn't a good look. And, she's average in a lot of ways that people say that she's just kind of like whatever, the girl next door kind of type, like Charlie. And for whatever reason, she's been catapulted to superstardom. And it's unfortunate because, that's not holding a candle to the greats. So yeah, I guess I just feel bad because she's so young, and I don't necessarily think she's doing anything wrong. She's existing, and there's a ton of fame around her, and she's just keeping going. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you. So I'm going to keep it honest.
Raw.
Yeah. So this segment, so if you didn't see it, it's like, she stands there and she does these dances, and then there's a sign held up behind her that says the name of the song that the dance is from. And there's no credit to the choreographers who, like you said, are Black creators on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, this is 100% the fault of the show and the showrunners for doing this. So this sketch, or what is it called? I mean, I call it a bit, maybe?
Yeah, a bit? Sketch or a bit.
A sketch. This is a copy and paste of a sketch that was done with Charlie D'Amelio back in early 2020. I believe it was February of 2020. Copy, paste, exact same thing that was done with Charlie on the show.
Yeah.
It's cringy. It doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Like the bit as a bit, I'm just saying, like, doesn't make sense. The least you could have done is put up a lower third crediting the choreographers.
Yeah, I was
That's
thinking
like the
about
bare minimum.
Right.
Is just put up a thing or add it to get a Sharpie and write it on the sign, say up, created by, or choreographed by.
I was going to say they can play it next to her, but that's what people did online, and it made it very glaringly obvious that she was not delivering what the original choreography was giving at all.
Yeah.
And then somebody pointed out on my timeline, I think this was the most press, not to continuously drag this particular show, but I think this was the biggest, I think this was their biggest event in a long time. It wasn't any of their guests. It wasn't any of their sketches. It was this, and it was for the wrong reason.
And also too, like, even though it came to a fever pitch around TikTok in the summer, this is not something that's new. I remember back when Vine was a thing, Peaches had her Vine where she was like, eyebrows on fleek, the fuck.
Oh, yeah, the fleek.
And then On Fleek was in marketing campaigns. It was like in makeup campaigns, ad campaigns. Like, it became this huge thing.
I remember.
And all of a sudden, it's like, okay, well, this creator, she's not getting a dime for making this cultural phenomenon. Like, this is an old conversation. Mm-hmm. So at this point, it's like, come on now. This has been years of bringing this up over and over. So it's like, you just willfully ignored this thing that many people...
There were many warning signs well ahead of this. I think you really kind of nailed it with the problem of the constantly steamrolling concerns well ahead of these things happening, because I feel often there are people that are behind the scenes, because all of these things are big corporations, big teams, who voice those concerns and are too small on the team or not considered. And the people who are in charge of making those calls overlook them. And then they get blown up in their face like this. It happens time and time again. Not everyone feels comfortable enough to say it. So I think it's important that you do point it out and call it out that there were signs well ahead of this, and well, they certainly got it handed back to them hard.
Yeah.
I think it dominated social all week. There are funnier memes now replacing the music with like everyone's favorite artist. But
the classical music one.
Oh, that one's really good. But I think ultimately it stemmed from a not so funny response to that segment, which just went down like a lead balloon, frankly. And I think there's a conversation to be had about her partaking in this and like
I
how
felt
much
bad that
should...
they made her be the one to say something about it.
Yeah, that too. That's valid too. You know, I remember when the Charlie thing happened, she did invite the original creators of the dance. Was it Renegade?
Yeah.
To dance with her, to give them that platform because, you know, she wanted to make it right. And
I think the two of them have done a really good job on their personal TikToks of crediting choreographers.
Yeah.
But that's not the TikToker's responsibility when they come on a TV show to
right.
do it. It's it's the show and the show producer's job.
Yes. I think it puts her in a bad position.
Because she doesn't have control over that.
She doesn't have the control of that. I feel like anyone who's worked in media knows that behind the scenes are so many people who they don't get it. They're not in tune with social. They're not in tune with the conversation, the general generational vibe that it's like shocking. And you have to put up a lot of battles all the time.
Yeah.
About,
or they think like, oh, well, this is just people being mad on the internet again. And it's like, no, actually, it's not that.
Right.
This is actually like a problem that's been happening for a really long time. And you have the opportunity to do they didn't even do the bare minimum.
Right. I also think, I guess, from also looking at it from like the business side of it, like, wouldn't you want to be seen as the show who got it right? Wouldn't you want to be seen as the one doing it well, to take that extra step to be like, we got it right? I also think it speaks to creativity, because I also feel like there are a lot of fun, cool, interesting ways to get it right. It requires a little more thought. Unfortunately, they did not do that, and it shows. And I do hope Addison does something cool with the creators of the dances. Maybe it's not on her shoulders to now take that. It's, you know, it would be cool if she did. And, you know, I hope she has fun with the rest of this promo cycle and hopefully doesn't get put into really sticky situations anymore. And yeah. All right. I think it's time. Now, Addison also did get dragged for her ripped jeans and tank or tube top sort of look.
She was giving me Jessica Simpson and Irresistible.
Yes.
And I kind of loved it.
Yes, I wasn't mad at it.
No.
But, you know, I think we could possibly take the fashion up a notch.
Yeah, let's rip those jeans a little more, shall we?
High fashion! So editorial.
Guys, this is awesome.
This is a billboard.
This is super high fashion.
Oh my God, that's so high fashion.
So high fashion.
This week for high fashion.
My Stephanie Germano.
For Dom, what's it called?
Dom Top Perignon.
Yeah, Dom Top Champagne.
Yeah,
giving me
Dom Perignon.
A little bit of like 1,000 Doves origami wing moments.
Oh, good reference.
I immediately was like, I zoomed in on the Instagram post and I was like, that's an origami bird. Could this be 1,000 Doves promo?
Nope, just a champagne.
Yeah.
I think she's at this point engaging in a social experiment to see how enraged she could send the little monsters by doing Oreos, champagne, movies, anything but promoting Chromatica directly.
Yeah.
I also, and oh God, the Nick Knight photos from this campaign are just extraordinary, and they're giving the best that she's ever given in her career. They're among like her, that's Born This Way shots. That's just like
a billboard.
Top notch. That could be a billboard, and it will be a billboard, I'm sure. Which good. I mean, those images are amazing and they should be everywhere. But yeah, like imagine them for an album. Oh, well.
See, I actually feel like she probably would have toured, and like in somewhere on Earth too, Lady Gaga is on the Chromatica ball. Well, Australia.
Right.
Speaking of TikTok, is your TikTok filled with people partying in Australia to Chromatica?
Yeah, and all they're doing is dancing to Chromatica and Future Nostalgia. And it's like, we get it.
I know, but yeah,
we will get it. But yeah,
so these things, like, you know, when you do an ad campaign that's like this massive, this was probably scheduled a year ago. So it's like,
Very possible.
Somewhere on Earth, too, Lady Gaga is on the Chromatica ball, and she's got all the ad. This probably would have been the sponsor of the tour.
Yeah.
The Oreos would have been the sponsor of the tour. That's just
Yeah.
my guess, and a personal guess. But yeah.
No,
I
I agree
now
with
it
you.
looks like
And
she's given up.
it also, like, we can't say yay to Ariana and boo to Gaga doing Champagne. Like, get your money. So, like, I am proud of her for, you know, doing what you can in this time anyway. We weren't going to get a tour. And really, besides being like a selfish stan, like, yes, she could have pumped out another video. She could have done some live promo performances. But like, we know that's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears for not so much payoff as a campaign or a TV show. So
Yeah.
I get it. So instead, she is speaking Italiano in Rome with Adam Driver. And that's okay. And I'm posting pictures of her every day for work. And she is giving you look after look. And it's going to be a moment.
It is. And I'm not mad at it. I think it's kind of funny now. So it's like...
It's fun. It's definitely funny. I'm not legitimately mad at it at all. I know
Yeah.
some people are thirsty for more, but what are you going to do in a panorama? So
I know. Did you see the new merch?
Yes.
I kind of want the sweatshirt.
I want the vinyl fold special edition Chromatica for sure, which has
Yeah.
like that book and stuff or whatever it is.
But some
inside.
people were saying, they were like, I didn't even get the first round of merch.
Right. Right. Well, her arm got tired doing that one silver.
She signed one jock strap and she's over it.
Oh, she's
Yeah.
busy. Yeah, no, I know. Oof. Well, somebody's got to get that
know.
web shop together.
I really love the embossed sweatshirt with the Chromatica logo.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? I don't even have health care right now. Do I need this embossed Chromatica sweatshirt?
And the answer is yes.
The answer is yes.
Well, from one Italian woman to another, my high fashion editorial pick of the week, no surprise, all over my Instagram and tweets, is Madonna. Madonna has really stepped up the selfie game in the past week. We got that Purple Rain look in the hat, and then we got the long, ethereal 1995 Brits bedtime story hair with the boobage out. And oof, I don't know if it's leading to anything, if she's bored in quarantine, which is my guess. I just think she's really giving some looks, and I have to give it up to the Queen of Pop for once again delivering on Instagram, and at a level that it should be at.
That's exactly it. I thought that too. I was like, okay, this is what
That's why she's Madonna. Yes. Totally. It's like so much of her Instagram I've had to apologize for and be embarrassed by. But like, this is like, okay, I can be proud saying that's Madonna.
Mhm.
Hell yeah. So I'm really glad that those photos came out. Now, of course, we're going to post this and then she'll like post an anti-vax thing or something. But I'm holding on strong that she's got this good momentum going, and I love it. And yeah, she looks fantastic. Bedtime Stories 2 incoming.
Wow. Can I tell you a funny
So-
story?
Oh, yes.
So the girls that were watching my Twitch stream the other night saw this happen live, but I asked Siri who the Queen of Pop was, and guess what she said?
Rebecca Black.
No. She started reading off Madonna's biography from Wikipedia.
Oh, that's amazing. I mean, hello.
And then everyone was like, is your Siri Irish? And I'm like, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
So she read off, I
okay.
like asked her, I was like, who is the Queen of Pop? And then she was like, Madonna. And then she like read off her whole name
Oh my God.
and started reading off her whole biography. And she was like, often referred to as the Queen of Pop.
Love that.
And I was like,
Ugh.
she spelled.
Siri knows.
Yeah.
Siri spilled. Love that. Well, from Madonna to her number one fan, it's time to take a trip over to the UK to cease and desist receiver. Michelle Visage has decided to become a Queen of Pop of her own after many years with a track with a UK pop group that I have traveled over just to see, Steps. Heartbreak in the City. This actually unexpectedly went it charted on gay Twitter, I
Yeah.
would say. People were shook.
It's a feel good, nostalgic bop.
It is, Steps always kind of gives the ABBA vibes, and it's really campy, really gay, and I loved the video. The video came out this week. The song came out like last month or 2 months ago, but the video really sold it. She's like a secret agent solving heartbreaks in this city. And unfortunately, beloved Lisa Scott Lee, which is like totally out of Totally Scott Lee's reality TV show. She's stuck in Dubai because of travel restrictions due to COVID. So she shot her scenes in near Dubai. But Michelle stepped in for Lisa on the video and the live performances. And I mean, we forget, it was admittedly only like a year or two, but she was in Seduction. She did the damn thing.
Yeah.
She knows the pop star thing, and the voice is still there. Her rendition of Silent Night is still really good for one of these like Christmas Queens albums. Voice, dancing.
I love her. And I think it's because she's a Jersey girl.
Yeah.
We're like kindred spirits a little bit.
She gives you such Jersey energy.
One of my favorite memories, and this is going back probably like 10 years now, was when I was at Logo TV. And I remember we did this thing where it was like the Eliminated Queen did like a live chat, like a web chat with Michelle on logotv.com.
I remember.
And so she had to come into the office to do it, and we would help her with it. And she would come in and she would have her flip-flops and like her leggings and her Dunkin' Donuts. Mm-hmm. And you'd hear the flip, 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 flip with the Dunkin', and she would just come in, she would sit there. And I was like, we are kindred spirits. Like
me in 20 years.
Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh, I love this.
Yeah, I love her. I think, she gets backlash sometimes for her critiques, which I think all the judges have their hypocritical moments, but I think that she's ultimately fair, and
she's their biggest cheerleader.
I love her as like a persona on the show. And then I just think, I was pleasantly surprised, I guess, but not surprised that she could pull it out for this. And she's loving it. She's calling herself Michelle from Steps. She's just pretending she's now in the band. I love that. And I do think it's going to be a bit of a moment for them. And they had like a great performance live. And I hope that she gets to join them on tour when I fly over to see them in November, God willing, with Sophie Ellis-Bextor. Cannot wait. So congrats to Michelle for really becoming a queen of pop.
Speaking of being in cities and songs about being in cities, I don't know why this just like the track just started spinning in my brain. Do you remember the song by Priyanka Chopra, In My City?
Oh, absolutely.
In my city.
Was that red
Everybody's welcome here.
We don't talk nearly enough about Priyanka's short-lived pop career. Oh my God.
Yeah. Fucking
we need to.
Bop.
20 years of Priyanka Chopra.
Yeah, this is like such a fucking bop about being in a city. So like we stan.
We absolutely stan.
But look that one up.
You definitely have to look that one up.
That's my new music recommendation of the week is Priyanka Chopra, In My City, which came out how long ago?
Oh my God, that's probably like a 2011 bop. Yeah.
Something like that.
There's nothing better
Back
than
in the Roaring
actress
20s.
to singer pivot, like a Leighton Meester. Oh my God, it's the best.
Yeah, and she's serving in the music video too, like full Queen of Pop, Priyanka Queen of Pop.
That actually is an episode that needs to happen, is just like actress turned Queens of Pop. Just all the efforts.
Let me write it down.
We're putting it down in the notes.
Where's the brainstorm doc?
I mean, that is literally that gets me so excited. I love talking about like one or two single queens. Oh, Jennifer Love Hewitt. Oh my God.
Bare naked. I just can't take it. Actresses turned queen.
Even Billie Piper, we were just talking about. Well, she had the pop career first, I think. Well, anyway. So, yes. Actually, that pivots perfectly. We have some new music recommendations. We'll just whip through fairly quickly. Yes, so Disney princess, okay, I'm gonna whip through a few. Disney princess Sophia Carson, who maybe your niece or nephew knows from the Descendants series. I remember I had to cover it a lot for work.
Is that the one where they have to go in the caves?
Maybe. I think they're like the sons and daughters of like villains of Disney or something. Oh, the Descent. Yeah.
There's the Descent, and then there's the Descendants.
Well, send the Descendants into the Descent, and let's see how that movie turns out.
New reality show.
Yeah.
All of our Queens of Pop.
Oh my
Descent
God.
3.
Oh God. Well, Sophia Carson, who you actually might know best as one of the three girls who did the Britney tribute at the 2014 Radio Disney Music Awards.
Oh my God. What is it called?
She did Baby, I believe, and it was cute, but she has a really, I like her general vibe. She does a lot of EDM collabs with Rehab and
Bob.
Who are the other? Oh, my dog is such an EDM stan. Oh my God. So, yes, she does a lot of EDM collabs, and this time she did one called Fool's Gold for herself. It's kind of like a, I don't know, like a disco pop number, or like just a chic. It's giving me Sophie Ellis-Bextor in the video meets like Britney's Three with the Pole, except it's on fire. Very, very good. Hannah Lux Davis directed it.
An icon.
Yes. I think you would definitely love the song. It's just
I do. I listened to it this morning.
Bop.
I love the cover.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the flame.
And you know what? I'm always going to stand a Hollywood Records girl, like from Hillary to, oh my God. Yes.
A rock girl.
A rock girl. Ugh. You know what? So shout out to Sophia Carson. Shout out to, okay, next one is Garbage. Their new comeback song, which is not Garbage. They're called Garbage. Your face. No, the band's called Garbage.
I know.
Oh, okay.
Don't freaking call me out.
But it's so funny because we just had that moment
on.
We had the moment on the Ashley Simpson show where they were like, "You sound like garbage."
Yeah.
I mean the band.
I can never hide how I feel from my face. I'm covering my face.
Yeah. So they're back with a new song called "The Men Who Rule the World," which is very much a message song, very politically driven. Shirley Manson is really outspoken all the time, always. And I'm excited to see what this album's going to shape up to be. This is just a taste of it. It feels very pointed toward the men who rule this world. And, it's very tear down the patriarchy, tear down
Save
the
squids.
Save the squids. Yes. So I'm always going to be here for a Garbage tune.
Can I say something that's probably going to get me canceled?
Yes.
This was giving me Ashley Simpson autobiography B-side tease.
Oh, okay. Well,
but that's
I think
kind
that
of a compliment.
A kind of a compliment.
Like I was listening to it and I was like, did Brad put this on here because like he's trying to goop me into thinking that this is like in the wake of our Ashley Simpson episode? I was like, she could sing this.
I think you need to listen to their album version 2.0 and you'll find that you know most of those songs. Like Push It. Oh my God. Their first 4 or so album run is flawless. Not a single bad song there. And I've just always respected them. I've always think that Shirley Manson is like a true legend. I'm excited for this album. So anyway, we're going to keep it moving. And yes, it did honestly tie in well with Ashley.
It really does.
It's like, yes. So we love that.
Now that makes sense why they said it on the show.
Yes. I mean, they're not wrong when they were saying whole and garbage. It was like, you know what? You made some points. So.
Know what else I was thinking?
Mm-hmm.
Ashley Simpson could sing Ashley O's soundtrack songs.
Oh, well, I wish. Please. That would be a fucking dream. Speaking of
On
another Disney girl, is it? Yes, High School Musical. Olivia Rodrigo, #1 for 50 fucking weeks on the chart. Driver's license is back with another one. She still has that driver's license. She's still driving around, but this time she's watching Glee reruns and thinking about, her ex-flame, and her Deja Vu is the name of the song. I think she's going to have a hit again. I don't think it's going to be the driver's license hit again.
Yeah, agreed.
But she's clearly hit a stride here where she's going to quickly be a new queen on the scene. Like, at least at this trajectory, I see her having like a sustained moment, not just one song.
Yeah. Well, what I like about this song is that it fits sonically with the first one, but it's very different.
Yeah.
So it's like she has a sound. And I also think that someone could do a really, I mean, maybe she could do it. There's something here where you could mix the two together into a really good medley.
Oh, for sure.
There's like a sound that connects them. And I was like, oh, this is brilliant. She could do a medley easily.
She can totally do that. She'll do it probably at the next year's Grammys when she'll probably get a nomination. So I'm...
And the lyrics, are you thinking about her? Are you getting deja vu? Basically how I feel about my high school crush, then going on to date someone who was also a ginger.
Oh,
and I was
just
like,
going to say it was like referencing Perfume.
She's not me.
Oh.
I'll never tell.
Are you thinking about her? Yeah.
Literally. This is her Perfume.
The impact of Perfume.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good for her.
And then, yes, honestly, 2 quick more EDM bangers to recommend. Stars Align by Rehab featuring Jolin Tsai. She is basically like, how do I describe it? Madonna-esque, Britney-esque of Taiwan. Queen of Pop, English song for her, which is awesome. I really hope she has a crossover moment. And then finally, this is like a last minute addition that I had to add. This is this artist from Montreal called TDJ. I know nothing about them except that they have a song called La 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 Want Somebody. And it's giving me melancholy 90s trance It's long, and it's really good driving around into your feelings, listening to Alice DJ kind of vibe.
Oh my God.
Okay, I'm looking that one up.
Me
I
in 2001
really like this.
listening to Tiesto.
Yes, absolutely.
Just be.
So yeah, how about you?
Well, I have one song this week that I would like to recommend. I literally only listened to one song and one album in the past week. 2 albums. I kept listening to Autobiography by Ashley Simpson.
Yes.
And then Demi's new album, which we'll talk about next. But my recommendation for this week is by Lane 8, which shout out to, I forget who it was, but someone DM'd me and recommended them as like an idiot. They were like, oh, you'll really like this group. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna look that one up. They have a new song out called Is This Our Earth? It's so good. I'm a Lane 8 stan now.
Is it about Earth?
Yeah.
Oh.
But like it's mostly instrumental.
Love that.
And they're performing at Brooklyn Mirage in June, so.
Oh, we're there. See you there.
Yeah.
Say no more.
I hope. I mean, I hope they don't cancel it, but like we'll see.
Yeah. Well, okay, so that brings us to probably the biggest pop girl release of the week, of course, Demetria Lovato, Dancing with the Devil, The Art of Starting Over. So this is, well, first of all, this is a meaty album. This is 22 tracks, I think, for the full.
She gave us a full album.
A lot of songs, and a lot of songs that came out already. Now, I've been watching her series on YouTube. I don't know, have you watched that one yet?
I haven't watched it yet. I want to, but I feel like it might be I need, you know, when there's like things that are sad.
Yep.
That I need to, because I get like triggered a little bit by those conversations. I need to I need to dedicate a certain time period in the week to do, you know what I'm saying? Like, does that make sense? Like,
no, it does. It's definitely not a light
it's heavy.
viewing. I can say
I was
that.
told it was heavy.
Yes.
But I do want to watch it.
Yeah, it is pretty intense a lot of the time. And so I feel like this is kind of a really good accompanying piece because it kind of tells you what the songs are from. It kind of explains a lot of the situation she was in. It does have its light and levity moments. I think it's really fun what she did with 15 Minutes and throwing up a middle finger to her ex-fiance. I mean, I don't know that I would have given him energy, but it is a really fun song of being like, you were thirsty for 15 minutes. You know, definitely a lot of grim songs about the overdose and the people in her life at that time. It's a heavy album thematically, but there are some light moments. I do like her bisexual banger about just the way that The Lover I Am. Mm-hmm. That's like a fun one where she's like, I don't care if you've got a dick or a wop.
Yeah, she did. She shouted out
dicks and
the
wops.
Girls.
Sucking dicks and cocks. Yeah. Yeah, no, she has some fun moments in there. I think I really do like the Ariana song. That's
love
a good
it.
one.
I also love that Ariana mixed it up with the yas with some no's.
Yeah, she really did. She really defied expectations with that one. No, I know. She also, I think the story is that she wrote it and then presented it to Demi. I think that's what it was.
I love
so
that.
That's cool. And I also love that was like a song and it wasn't 2 minutes. So yeah, that's good too. I'm still digging through the very long album, but I enjoy it. And I guess more so I'm like proud of her for putting it all out there and, you know, turning that situation to something empowering for her, which is kind of her gig. That's kind of what she's done always, is she's self-empowerment queen. But I think it's really smart in the documentary. They kind of address the impossible standards of being the sober role model. She was like, it was kind of put on me that I had to be 100% sober from the get-go because of the earlier incidents, and I never really had a say in that, and I just became the role model for that, and it was unbearable.
And
so
puts
she
a lot of pressure.
Yeah, she talks about it in the doc, but like a lot of people, when they do snap or have the relapse, they go 10 times harder. And so she did harder drugs than she's ever done before and things like that. And so now she's at this like sort of healthy medium of like occasional use of drugs and weed that she feels is going to keep her from not feeling like it too extreme a lifestyle. You know what? If it's going to work for her, it's going to work for her. And that is the most important thing, because I think trying something over 1 million times and it not working means you got to try another way. So she's California sober, whatever that song was.
Love that song.
Yes. I think she's in a good place now. She obviously in the documentary like shows herself saying she's in a good place like so many times throughout her career, but maybe this is perhaps the most real and raw she's been. And yeah, without putting too many expectations on her, I think this is a good place for her to be in. And sonically, they did say she had to be on vocal rest because of the overdose and because of just like everything that happened. She wasn't singing for a very long time, and so she's restored a lot of her voice too, which is evident, I think. And yeah, she had a killer comeback with the Grammys performance, the Super Bowl performance. Was it Super Bowl? Yeah, the national anthem. And I think she's on a good path. Oh, and Melon Cake, I like that song too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's hard to like go in about any album that is so extremely personal like that, because she puts it all out there. And I don't have anything to go in about it, but it's not a breezy listen for the most part. She turns a lot of it into breezy and can make some light of it, but there's a lot of heaviness to it, obviously. Like Anyone, the song is oof. Yeah. Very heavy.
I did see a lot of the discourse was kind of like, oh, I feel like she's making this a thing and like it's a shtick. But I actually admire her vulnerability a lot as constantly starting over. And I thought that it was like the song, The Art of Starting Over, I was like, oh, she's acknowledging the fact that this is, it's happening again and she has to start over again. Yeah. And I love the album art. I think it's symbolic.
Yeah, I like it actually. Yeah.
I love the song Butterfly. I thought it was like really haunting. And it's like, she's starting over. And I was like, there's a symbol here. Like she's touching it with the visuals. She's touching it with the lyrics. I love Lonely People, the song.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, Mad World into Butterfly I thought was really beautiful, and also Carefully. I love Demi's voice. I think, in like a musical world where, we don't really get like a ballad queen anymore, she still is giving us that. And I have loved her since I saw her open for the Jonas Brothers at Madison Square Garden, and she sang a cappella and it was fucking amazing, and she was crying. I've just always been rooting for her, like even though I was like, I was teasing with the whole Poot Lovato thing, and I know that she didn't think it was funny. But like, I've always been rooting for her, and I thought this album was pleasantly enjoyable, even though it was a heavy subject matter. It was nice to listen to.
I think you nailed it also, the fact that, people are like, oh God, again. And it's like, actually, that's the reality of an addict. It's really... It can be disappointing, it can be frustrating, but like relapse is part of the journey and it's really annoying. And that's why sometimes she even can come across as that, because it's like, again, a fucking again. That unfortunately is part of the disease of it all, is that it's not a straight line. And she basically acknowledges that both in the documentary and in this album. And you've got to take her at that and, just root for her, obviously, and support her. But that comes with this territory. And you can want to give up on somebody like that. And her sister was like, yeah, I wanted to. You hold on to that hope that this time is going to be different. This time she'll get it right. And you just keep moving forward. And I think it's kind of a beautiful sentiment and also an honest sentiment, the art of starting over, because we like to promise ourselves never again a lot about a lot of things. And then we do it and you go through that shame spiral and then it all happens again. And that definitely is somebody with an addictive personality has that problem. And so that's why when it's irritating or annoying that she's done it again, it's like, that's real. That's just what to expect. It's not
it's
one
a cycle.
and done for most people. It's not. Yeah.
Shame,
especially when you're in spotlight,
shame and guilt and
mm-hmm.
all of that. And so I don't know, it was like, I appreciated that she shared what I imagine was part of the healing process with the worlds. I don't know.
I agree.
I stand Demi. Think this is like, I go hard for Demi. There's something, I don't know, I get like a little bit of the same Britney resiliency, defense, mother and kicks in.
Miley, Demi, Selena, same factory, different circumstances, but same fame game, same young, push through in different ways, and rooting for all of them. And Demi's no different. And as even the ex-fiance Max situation is like, this is all part of who you trust into your circle, letting the drug dealer into your circle, all of that is like, that's part of this job, is having that trust violated over and over again and not knowing who to trust. And this is honest to her experience. So yeah, I'm very into this album for her because I feel like she needed to do it. I often feel like certain artists need to put out certain albums to, you know, get out from under.
Yeah. And she goes there in the one song when she's like, but I'm here again, fucked up in LA. And
yeah.
She's like, she's singing about the actual moment.
Yeah, it's still going to help a lot of people. And I don't think it's not a failure at all. It's never a failure. It's more honest and more relatable, if anything, to see somebody fuck up again and again and just keep going and try their best. Because I agree with her that she was unfairly given the role of sober queen, very young, and you can change your mind at any time about that. And she could not, because hundreds of thousands of people are coming up to her crying, saying, "You changed my life. You're the reason I do this." And it's like, oh God, that is, I didn't sign up for this. Yeah, I didn't sign up to be that. We love Demi, and we love all the Disney teen queens who have had to go through all of their own individual struggles, all because of this fame machine. And yeah.
Shout out to Noah Cyrus, the song too, the duet.
Oh yeah, Easy.
Also phenomenal. Like I was like, wow, this is beautiful.
Yeah,
Noah's having a little moment too. Like I feel
really
like it's kind of bubbling under, but like she's there and like she's
getting the Ashley. She was at least getting the Ashley treatment. She was very much being disregarded, made fun of, the other sister. Like she was getting all of that, and I think she's kind of soldiering through and finding her own path.
Yeah, and sound.
Yeah. So I'm.
What's the song? It's is it July?
Yeah.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah. So I'm really happy for them, and I hope that this leads to, she should always write about her experiences. I would love like a lighter moment for her, because I would love
still cool for the summer.
Yeah, I like to have fun, but that's not where we're at right now, and that's okay. And this is probably her most personal album to date.
Yeah. And, her Demi Jean.
Demetria Jean.
That's a good name.
It is a good name,
Demetria Jean.
Yeah, Demita Jo and Demetria Jean. But so props to Demi, and so I think, God, wow, we have really run the gamut this week.
Yeah, the girls, we've been catching up.
They're going to be shook by this episode, I feel like.
All right, well, to wrap this up, we have one thing that's coming soon in the form of wax. Miss Dula Peep.
That's right, everybody. Stay seated. Don't go out. Except for her. It's Miss Dula Peep, Dua Lipa, is getting a wax figure at Madame Tussauds, I believe, New York. We will absolutely go take a picture with it when it comes.
Will we?
Oh, I will. Even though I can meet the real one, but the wax one's probably fun too. The coolest thing about this,
the wax one won't give you Cornova.
That is true.
I'm just kidding.
However,
I'm joking.
The coolest thing about this was the picture that she posted of the hundreds of cameras around her for that shoot. So fucking cool looking,
but also like horrifying.
Well, that too.
Like if you think about it, this is going into like a Black Mirror conversation, but I'm like,
that they have photos of your ear.
Yeah, I'm like, they can. That's cool.
They can recreate you,
but they can just make you.
Yeah, except, you see the wax figure and you're always like, that's kind of off.
Yeah, there's always like one thing about it that's wonky from a certain angle.
Yeah, so we'll have to see what they do with her, but I'm excited for her to have a wax figure, further cementing her status as a legend and icon, and
legend, icon, and future Bath and Body Works candle, Miss Dula Peep.
Light her up. Fever. Yes. So, all right. Well, I hope everybody is having a happy, healthy, safe time at home. We are getting these fucking vaccinations rolling out.
We are frightened of Cornova.
We are still frightened of Cornova, but we are doing what we need to do. Hope we're staying safe, wearing masks, socially distancing.
I'm a fully vaccinated queen now.
I know you are, and I'm about to have my...
Stay away from me, though.
Yep.
Well, Brad,
fully vaccinated.
Good
still
luck.
Stay away. And hopefully we will have a very fun summer/fall, depending on when we roll these things out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Once you get vaccinated, I'll let you in my house.
Oh, thank you.
You're allowed back.
And fingers crossed, I will also be a lot closer to your home in the next few weeks.
Yeah, because I can't do another summer here by myself.
Life update. Yeah.
There's only so many birds I can talk to in the park. And then you just start to be like, again, like, what am I doing here with my life? I'm ready. My bird lady era needs to come to an end. I'm ready.
I feel a new era upon us for both of us, to be honest. It does feel like something's bubbling under, and I'm basically waiting on like 3 life-changing emails in various facets of my life. So hopefully we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Summer 2021, my rat era.
Rat era.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you for chatting on yet another really long episode, 2 in a row.
Yeah, this is a doozy.
Yeah.
And we go in.
The girls are fed. They're eating. Isn't that what they say?
They are. Yes. And that's what I'm about to do.
Oh, yeah. I need to get dinner. Okay. So thank you, everyone. And check out our deep dive from last week if you haven't already.
Yes. And all of our deep dives through the year and a half or so.
Yeah. And more to come. But until then, we will
see you
soon. Halfway through April already. Can you fucking believe it?
No, I can't.
I had to ask Siri how old I was the other day because I forgot. I was like, I have another Cornova birthday coming up. Which one is it?
And she said, Madonna,
yeah,
commonly known as the Queen of Pop.
Yeah. And everyone's like, oh my God, are you going to black out again this year? I was like, oh, yeah.
But this time you could do it like on the Soho House rooftop.
Oh my God. Oh, did you see my
Projecting
TikTok
Peppa
that went
Pig.
viral that I posted?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Which, by the way, if I include this in the episode, I have to apologize to Brad because I was such a bad friend by like kind of like sabotaging part of your party.
He did sabotage the party.
Yeah. We found the plug for the projector and put Trisha Paytas and Peppa Pig on the projection. And I was like, hi.
During my British pop night, all of a sudden it went from steps and to Peppa Pig.
You forgave me.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what? It was worth it.
I just saw the heads start turning towards the projections, and I was like,
that's Trisha Paytas sitting in her car.
Somebody was like, you're playing Slumber Party? And it was like, nope, that's Freaky by Trisha Paytas. I know who got hold of the projector.
Someone found the AV cord. She's a tech queen. Okay, anyway. Well, Summer Party is hopefully coming soon. You too can experience Peppa Pig live. Okay, bye.